Hi everyone, this is Sean with Scale RC Engines, and today we are going to be assembling the Coyote standard full-scale engine. So there aren't many pieces to this. This is one of the easier assemblies. This is the kit form that you can purchase on the website or eBay. And let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your two valve covers. And you're going to make sure you have the orientation correct. Now, this is the front of the engine, and this is the rear. So I'm going to have the front facing me for this video. When we put these on, we're going to make sure the openings are towards the outside of the engine. You can take train wire or red household wire. You can use shrink tubing, whatever you want. Later on your own, if you want to add spark plugs into each one of these holes, simply glue them in and connect them to the base of the motor for that extra scale look. All right, let's get into it. I have my standard gap filling medium hobby grade CA with the precision applicator that you get with your kit. I also have my kicker here. Don't worry, I know this stuff's dangerous on some car bodies. Doesn't affect any of the finish on this. Any of these parts, they're all safe for all types of glues and epoxies. Most types of glues and epoxies. All right, so the first step, we're going to apply glue here. And again, this precision applicator doesn't dispense a lot of glue at a time, but it's really helpful for those small, hard to reach places. And don't worry, you can use it multiple times. Once you're done building this, simply cut the end of it off after it dries, and it will work like new. All right, so we're going to spray our kicker on the bottom of this. Now again, make sure we are even with the pattern of the head, lining up both the front and the two notches on the back, just to get that nice clean fit. Now the kicker is going to make this stuff dry really fast, so don't take too long lining it up. I will normally hold my hands like this or like this to line those edges up as evenly as I can. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Again, take our glue, apply a little bit of CA down the valve cover. I know it looks like I'm applying a lot, but remember, with this precision applicator, it doesn't dispense a lot at a time, so I'm really just putting small drops all over the valve cover. Quick spray. I got a little bit on the valve cover, so we're going to work quick. Get it lined up front to back and side to side the best you can. Don't worry, this will not affect any fitment later if you are a little skewed. And we're there. All right, next step is going to be the intake. You're going to see these two rails on the bottom are going to make contact with these two flat spots here. They aren't keyed, so feel free to move them forward and back. If you have some fitment issues, this is one of the smaller engines, so this will fit in most cars. All right, so we checked our fit, we figured out where we want it. We're going to go ahead and apply some glue to the bottom rail on this intake. Like so. Give the motor a quick kick. Flip it over. Find the position we like best. I tend to push it a little bit towards the back side to kind of make the back side even. That looks good. And we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to finish the intake off by installing this little butterfly valve on the front. There isn't any orientation. This is squared, and you have a small rectangle on the intake. So feel free to do whatever you think looks best. I tend to put the little butterfly in, so the control valve is on the right side there. Again, we're going to apply a little glue to the back side of the butterfly. I'm just putting a couple dots on there, quick spray on the intake. I'm going to get this nice and centered just by eye. Nothing fancy, don't worry. If you're a little crooked, it's not the end of the world. Most people won't even notice. But there, that's on there. It's nice and straight. So we're going to move on to the next step. We are going to take our two pulleys. Nope, drop that. One is going to go in this region, and then the other one, nope, dropped it again, is going to fit in here. Now it fits best, it fits the best sideways. Couldn't remember there for a second. So either to the left or the right, you'll see this little piece coming off of it. Stick that either left or right to drop this down as low. I recommend putting the small one on first because the large one just glues onto a flat surface and you can adjust it from there. So again, we're just applying some glue to the back side of this, like so. Quick spray on the engine, making sure that little piece on the side is to the right or left, whichever you prefer. And we're going to apply a little pressure. And there you can see it there. Fits in that notch nicely. And we're ready to put on the larger pulley. Now again, this has no orientation to it, so feel free to put it however you want. I would recommend keeping it above the bottom of the engine at this point because we will be gluing a piece on there, just in case you're a little off on that next step. So I think I'm going to put it about there. Same process, glue the back side of the pulley. Just a couple drops. I do small dots all around the pulley so we have a nice even contact surface when it squishes out. Quick spray to the engine. And we are going to drop this center. And remember, it's going to dry quick, so don't take too long getting it in position. That's if you're using the activator anyway. All right. Now we're going to flip our engine on our back. And we're going to take our oil pan. Now this piece, as you'll notice, has two bump outs on the back. Those are going to go towards the back side of the engine. So they're going to line up in this region. So go ahead, kind of a similar process. This one has a little more leeway. It doesn't line quite up perfectly with the edges, so take extra time, well, not extra time, be extra careful to line this up straight the first shot. And again, I'm just using my applicator to put little dots all the way down, a little bit in from the edge so we don't have any oozing. Quick spray to the engine, and flip it over, and we are going to get that lined up. Now I am using the front and the back as a judge on straight because it lines up perfectly up here in the front, and then I'm using the back edge here to make sure we're even. And that looks pretty perfect. So as you can see, it's supposed to fit like that. And now on to the final step. All right, we're going to take our exhaust manifolds, and again, depending on your build, you may or may not want to include these depending on fitment, so this would be a good time to check that. But as you can see, these four are going to line up with these four. And we're going to apply the glue to the exhaust now. Oh, almost forgot to kick it. And we're just going to make sure we're nice and straight and we're nice and flat when putting pressure. I don't know if you saw that, but I had it a little crooked. I didn't notice until I tipped it. But you want to make sure you have a nice flat contact. Nope, not like that. Maybe we could have used a little more kicker. Ah, there's the culprit. I'm still not tipped far enough. So we're going to make sure we're nice and flat between the two surfaces for the most strength possible. All right, so it's going to be that side. And guys, if the glue dries and it's not quite on there like this, the applicator set in a little more. What I'll do is I'll tip it back so I have some glue that's adhering, and I'll just take the micro applicator and I will just push it down the little void like that. Give it a quick kick and reset it. All right, we're going to let that dry for a second. Same steps on the next one. Get our glue. Quick kick on the engine. It'll work quickly because we got a little bit on the exhausts. Make sure we are nice and flat against the engine. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Once it's set, we are going to make sure we don't have any voids. If you see, if you put it on a little crooked again, just gonna add a little bit of glue in that crack. And that's what's nice about this little tip that's included, is you can get in there and avoid those glue marks everybody hates. Our quick spray just to dry it up. There we have it. The Coyote standard scale model. All right, guys. Hope that was helpful. We'll see you next time.